Before there was humanity, there were the entities, Vespis, Kin, Tavar, and Udara, 4 mystical beings of great power that together sparked the creation of life. As humankind grew, each entity wanted to guide humanity in their own way, so each selected a human host, their paragon, the chosen few who would help them lead their people, thus creating the 4 empires of Zaia.
Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of 4 Empires Champions, a new tabletop role-playing game where you have to balance your allegiance to your friends, your empire, your entity, and your team. Here in the world of Zaia, 4 empires have long ruled this land. The empires have cycled their allies and enemies, but now we find the empires in an unprecedented era of peace. The Age of Magic has brought about prosperity and progress for all. But in the shadows of that prosperity lurks those that would like to see themselves rise above the others. How's everybody doing today?
Hey, ready.
We are going to introduce our wonderful players today. We have 6 players that are part of our very first 4 Empires Champions team.
The impeccable Mackenzie Fox. The insurmountable Michael McRae. The illustrious Dustin Michaelbus.
Here but not present.
The inscrutable Colin K. Bass. The incredible Aaliyah Pyatt. And the indescribable Felix Anthony.
Thank you guys all for being here today, and we will get right into the session.
Sounds good.
We find ourselves in the city of Talon's Edge, the most southeastern city in all of the Jade Eagle Empire. Today is a very special day for the Jade Eagle Empire. Right now, the Jade Eagle Council is choosing their paragon. In the city of Talon's Edge, people have traveled from all over Zaia. We have Golden Bears, Jade Eagles, Crimson Wolves, and Cobalt Sharks all coming together to enjoy the festivities, to compete in challenges, both physical and mental. All of it in good fun to celebrate the new Jade Eagle Paragon. Everybody go ahead and pick a number 1 through 6 for me.
6. Like in our heads?
Yeah, out loud.
5.
6,
3.
5, 3,
2, 4,
4,
1.
1.
96, let's go.
Nat crit.
He's like, and you're dead.
Maximum damage. So early over.
We start with our good friend, Ileana.
Start so hot.
What does it mean?
Go.
Ileana, you are awoken by the sound of a heavy fist pounding on the door to the room that you have rented in an inn in Talon's Edge. You hear it pounding, waking you up.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like that.
What was Ileana doing the night before?
Oh, okay. Dang, I have to come up with a new thing. Okay, the night before, she was celebrating the new Paragon, or getting ready for the celebration. So she's a little hungover. And did not want to be woken up as early. Is it early?
It feels early,
Okay.
but it is not.
Well, it's early to me.
A true golden bear.
Exactly.
So yes, you are awoken by this loud pounding. It feels like somebody's pounding directly on Ileana's brain. You hear the crabby innkeeper outside, Ileana! Pounding on the door.
Go away.
I won't go away. We need to talk, Ileana.
I'm gonna open the door.
You get up and open the door. Go ahead and describe what you look like. What does the innkeeper see when he sees Ileana being awoken so suddenly?
Okay, he sees me. Look at my little figure right here. I am a female presenting woman, about 5'5". I've got braided hair pulled back in a bun. He sees in the corner I have a giant bow about the size of my body, probably a little too big to just be carrying around all over the creation. I'm wearing leather armor, but of different colors, which is a little weird because people usually represent their their empire. I want to say clan.
You
No clan.
Same thing.
Their empire. Yeah, and I'm very hungover right now, so just drags in my eyes.
see the curmudgeonly innkeeper. He's very old, hunchback. His skin is just hanging loose on his face. He has like a small rim of hair that he's just been holding on to for way too long. There's not much there, but you could tell he refuses to shave it. He very crabbily pulls the door all the way open. He says, "You've been saying for 3 days that you're going to pay for your stay tomorrow. Last night I asked if you wanted breakfast, and you said yes. Here we are at almost midday, and all the other patrons have eaten and left. And here I am with a cold plate of bacon and eggs. I would feed it to my cats, but they don't like cold eggs, and bacon makes their bowel movements smell unpleasant. What am I supposed to do with this now?" And he's holding a plate of very cold bacon and eggs.
I grab it and just into my mouth immediately.
He says, "You are so foul." He says, "Well, at least it's not going to waste," and he thrusts the plate into your arms.
Awesome, I'll take this. And slam the door.
The door slams in the roomkeeper's face. You can hear him kind of scoff, and he storms off down the hallway. Something he said kind of stuck in your mind. You heard him say, "Almost midday." And you're remembering the reason for your celebrations yesterday. You went to the qualifiers for the Imperial Bowmanship competition. And you passed these qualifiers, and today is the day of the final. And you know that the final starts at midday. And you have woken up far later than you intended.
Oh no. Oh, well, I'm gonna grab my things and run out the door.
You grab your bow, you grab your stuff, and you storm your way over to the competition ground.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll perception for me.
First roll.
Here it is.
I don't know how to do this.
No pressure.
Okay, math time. Okay, we got 15.
Nice.
15, amazing. You notice a whole lot.
Okay.
As you make your way to the competition grounds, you see that there are tons of people throughout the city of every single type. You maybe even see some golden bears that you recognize along the way. You notice as you make your way towards the competition ground, the number of guards is getting heavier and heavier. You could tell that everybody is kind of making their way to the competition grounds. You also know that the current Paragon, will be in attendance today. So you could see the reason for the heightened security. You arrive at the competition ground. You see about half a dozen other bowmen and marksmen from all over the 4 empires getting ready. You see that, unlike yesterday, there is not just the competition grounds, but you see that there are massive bleachers with huge wooden coverings that have been constructed just in view of the marksman's range. You spot a Cobalt Shark. He's kind of standing off on his own, unlike the other people that kind of have friends and supporters that are there with him, with them. You see this this Cobalt Shark. Go ahead and describe yourself.
Yeah, so Teodoro, he's about 5'10", just under 6 feet. He has a pretty lean, fit build, pretty slender guy. His hair is tied off into a knot, and it's deep blue, almost black, and he's wearing these very flowy white and blue robes. And he just stands there, quiver at his back, bow at his side.
You also spot, with your 15 perception, you see that there is a crimson wolf that is there. That is kind of attracting a crowd around him. You can hear his loud, boisterous voice kind of storming over everybody. He has a big crossbow slung across his back, and he's saying, "I don't even see the need for us to have a competition today. I feel like my performance in the qualifiers was indication enough of my prowess." And he's kind of looking at the other competition. He says, "Well, look at this. Oh, we have another person that doesn't mind being beaten so publicly." He says, "You there, what's your name?"
Bitch. No.
Bitch.
My name is Ileana Solaris, and I think you are gonna lose today.
He says, "Ha ha ha ha! Who do you think you're talking to?" Oh, this is going to be somewhat embarrassing, but I think you can handle your failure with grace. And he says, and you, Shark, what's your name?
Teodoro Farrow.
Teodoro Farrow. Huh. You're a long way from Warframe, are you not?
That I am. No, there's no better reason, though, than this one.
He says, all right, nothing wrong with a small minnow in a large pond. He says, I too have traveled far to be here today, but a small price to pay for you to all see such an excellent display of my greatness.
And what was your name, your greatness?
My name? You
Your
want
name.
to know my name?
I would like to know.
He looks at his hand.
You want to know my name? First of the
Today,
series.
preferably.
He says, my name's Chevron Thick. Not Thick. My name is Chevron Thick.
Go back,
We heard
baby.
it here.
Go back, baby.
Is that thick with a K with 2 C's?
Called such for my dummy thick cheeks. They act as a counterbalance when I aim my bow.
I was wondering why I heard a clap every time you shot your bow.
He says, no. My name is Chevron Thrix, but you can just call me the greatest bowman in all of Imperia.
And tell me this one thing, Chevron.
Yes.
Does that bite match that bark of yours, Wolf?
He says, oh, it matters plenty.
That remains.
He starts barking, and the other kind of Crimson Wolf guys around him are like, yeah, kind of hyping him up. You guys, as you're having this very, very idiotic conversation, you hear...
Idiotic on whose end?
All parties. You hear a voice kind of rise up over the cacophony, and it says, the competition is about to begin. The competition is about to begin. Bowman, please, take your places. And as you guys take your places, we're going to switch on over. Go ahead and roll again. Yes, so our amazing Vera, she is approaching a bar called the Crow's Nest. Many months ago, Vera took a contract to unofficially acquire an artifact on behalf of somebody from the Jade Eagle Empire. And all she knew was that once she acquired the item, she would be meeting her contact here at during the festival for the choosing of the new Paragon. That time has come, and she is now approaching the Crow's Nest, a small bar kind of tucked away in an alleyway in one of the more affluent parts of town.
So I'm going to be efficient. I'm going to make my way straight there and try to find whoever it is that I'm returning this artifact to.
As you approach the door, there is a bald Jade Eagle monk standing in front of the door. He says, hold, are you Vera?
Yes, I'm Vera of the Crimson Wolf Empire.
He says, good, go right inside.
You think you could tell by the crimson. She's going to walk in, and Vera stands at about 5'4". She's a bit of the runt of her pack, so she's a bit scrawny, but don't let that fool you because she is still pretty strong. She can handle herself. She's been on her own for a long time, so she's a bit of a lone wolf, and you know, maybe through running through the wrong circles, she's just trying to find her pack.
Amazing, yeah. So you approach the bar and you step inside. Go ahead and roll perception for me.
Good at this. Should be. 10.
10. Nice. As you walk in, the bar is scarcely habited. You see that the few people that are in there would be the bartender and a few other Jade Eagle monks. You can tell by their robes and kind of their posture that they probably know each other. They're probably all part of the same group. And as you walk in, the air is thick and it is like dark in here. The windows have all been kind of shuttered. There are just a few gaps letting in light, and there are like animal fat candles that are kind of making the air have this greasy and heavy effect to it as you make your way into this darkened bar.
Oh.
You gonna make your way to that seat?
Yes.
Yeah, you sit down. Sitting across from you is a woman. She has her legs crossed up on the table. She has a staff that's kind of leaning against the chair behind her. She has thick, dark, curly hair with dark skin to match. She has a heavy scar that goes from her, like the top of her forehead, almost all the way down to her chin, crossing over her eye. That same eye is kind of pale and white. She looks up and she says, I suppose you're Vera.
That's right. I suppose you're, well, clearly very important if I've gone through all this trouble.
Exactly. She says, I take the fact that you're here in one piece as an indication of your success.
Well, when I show you the object that I've brought here in one piece, I think that'll be plain enough.
She says,
I'm happy.
She says, very good. I would like to see the artifact.
She's going to take it out of her little pouch.
The woman takes it from you. It is a Korax heart. Korax being a rare, magically imbued metal that is unique to the Jade Eagle Empire. It can be used as a sort of magical conduit. It's used to make weapons, magical artifacts, also just things of import. It's in the shape of a heart made out of Korax. It has this kind of delicate silver filigree on the outside of it, just kind of running up in paisleys along the side. And it has a little glass kind of window that goes all the way through the middle of it. And she says, yes, very nice. And I take it you weren't caught during this process, were you?
Of course not.
She says, good. I see we did not hire an amateur.
No, and you'll be paying me for my, unlike amateur work, of course.
She says, yes, of course. She reaches, she grabs a hefty sack of gold coins, and she tosses it onto the table, and it spills out on the table in front of you. She says, why don't you take some time and count it? I'm sure you'd like to account for every single piece.
Making me clean up more of your messes. And she's immediately going to go down and start like counting all the pieces.
She hands the Korax heart to the man beside her. He takes it, nods his head at her, and he leaves out the front door.
As Vera's like picking up the coins, she's gonna look up at the Jade Eagle lady again and be like, so just out of curiosity, what are your plans for the heart?
Do you plan to take out the portion of that reward that was meant for your discretion?
You know, after all this work, I'm just curious is all. No, but I'll take it all. Thank you.
Glad we have an understanding. We are going to switch and cut back to you.
Worth a try.
Jayton. You have woken up from your accommodations. You are also staying in an inn, as you have been for a few days now, as you search the city for the person of your inquiry. You are in the neighborhood of Hanji. It is one of the poorer parts of town. So over the years, the city has seen kind of continuous improvement as the Age of Magic has been prosperous for everybody. But the neighborhood of Hanji seems to be forgotten. It seems to have always kind of been forgotten. As opposed to the slated green tile roofs that the rest of the city has, most of the buildings here are made out of wood or bamboo. The city streets are kind of deteriorating as they've been neglected over the years. As such, it is one of the few remaining places in Mitral where the dishonorable and the unwise can make themselves at home. So you are making your way through this neighborhood to meet up with somebody that you have some questions for.
Jayton Bronzeclaw of the Bronzeclaw clan is a massive dude standing around 6'4" or 6'5" on a good day. He has a beard and long brown hair that's pulled back, and he wears armor that you'd see worn by a Golden Bear commander. However, it's missing the sigil that would show his command. His cloak has seen better days and carries the scars of many battles. He also wields a large battle axe that's holstered on his back.
Yeah, he's probably standing out a very, kind of like a sore thumb here, just because, how big he is. As he walks down the street, he's gonna scan the area and look for either children or parents with children.
Yes. As you do so, sticking out like a sore thumb in this very, very empty neighborhood, because as we've mentioned before, everybody's off at the tournaments. But not you. You're here on a mission. And as you're here on that mission, a woman approaches you and she says, sorry to bother you. You wouldn't happen to be Jayton, would you? Jayton Bronzeclaw?
Yes. How can I help you?
My sister said you spoke with her yesterday about something my son saw.
Yes. Bretta?
Yes. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
She shakes your hand.
Jayton shakes back.
Behind her skirt is a little kid that's kind of holding on, just kind of peeking out.
Jayton takes a knee and he says, "Hello there, little one," and gives his hand, extends it for her to shake.
The boy reaches out like very, very limply.
His giant hand just encompasses his and gives him a nice shake. Says, "What's your name?"
You could tell the kid's nervous. Go ahead and roll a charisma check for me.
Woo! That's our first nat one of the game.
That's nice. The kid is very frightened by you. You're a big, scary man, and he kind of hides behind his mother's skirt once again after shaking your big, giant bear paw.
Jayton kind of gives him a smile, and he just stands up and starts addressing the mother again. So, I've heard that you have some information.
Yes, my son said he saw a man that fit the description that you're looking for. To be honest, hearing him talk about it made me nervous. You don't get many non-locals in this neighborhood, and I don't know, it sounded like he was up to no good. The son kind of peeks out, still very afraid. He says, I saw the man, and he had bushy eyebrows, and he had a tattoo with like a fish on it, and he wore a blue cloak, like you said.
A tattoo with a fish? Where was it? What did it look like?
It was on his hand, but it didn't look like a normal fish. It looked weird.
A weird fish. Okay. Fish on hand. You see, Jayden brought out his like little notebook and he's like writing it down.
It's a stinger. I just imagine this like big hand and like the little pencil.
Teeny tiny pencil, like what you had to take tests with back in the day.
A bunch of them have like broken tips on it. You're like, reach in.
And any scars or anything that might set him apart from other people with strange fish tattoos on their hand?
No scar, but I never seen a tattoo like that.
Do you think that you could draw it?
Okay.
Jayden kind of looks up at the Bretta like, okay.
She's like,
oh no, this is not gonna end well.
He takes one of your pencils and he draws a big circle on the page, and then he kind of draws what looks like a fishtail, but then the front of it just turns into chaos. It just looks like a real mysterious shape, kind of scribbles. You do agree that it doesn't look like a normal fish. So that part of his assessment is correct with what you're seeing right now.
Jayden takes the notebook back and pats him on the shoulder and he says, "Thank you for your help." And he puts it away. Now, did you see which direction he went?
He says, sometimes I see him by the fruit stall, and sometimes he's in the alleyway behind our house.
In the alleyway behind your house.
Bretta, the mother, was clearly unaware of this detail. And she kind of looks at the both of you in horror, and she says, Krifa says, yeah, sometimes he's there, and people come and they talk to him for a little while, and then they leave.
Could you bring me there?
Yeah, I could bring you. Are you gonna kill him?
We'll see. He looks at Bretta, and he kind of under his breath says, "I don't like to lie to children. I'm sorry."
She's... The three of you start making your way over to their home. We are going to cut away. Let's see those last two remaining numbers. Let's see what it is.
I swear we're still
Did
in
we
trouble.
zigzag? we went here.
Joe kept rolling.
Sure.
2 and then 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very politely. Yeah!
Yes, fuck yeah.
Let me punch someone. I mean,
So our good friend Blur, you are making your way through the city streets. You have been kind of finding a bunch of different ways to profit off of this event. You know that big things like this that bring travelers from all over, people are going to need mercenaries. They're going to need private security. They're going to need help tracking down stolen things, tracking down missing family members. All sorts of money is to be made, and you have been milking every last bit of that profit while you've been here. You've also been drinking away about an equal amount of that profit as you've just been enjoying the festivities. And you are in the enjoying phase rather than the earning phase right now, and you are making your way to a bar to have a drink.
oh, that looks familiar.
Very
I smell another wolf.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Smell me too.
I haven't found a watering hole yet.
I reek of beer and fur, so it's not.
And it smells like home.
Yeah, I'm comfortable here.
Blur is about 6 foot with black hair and blue eyes. He wears a traditional red and black ninja suit that you would instantly recognize as a crimson wolf. He has a scar over his eye, and his go-to weapon are his kunai. He also has a katana on his back. If I were to describe him in 3 words, it would be fast, mysterious, and experienced.
As you make your way to the bar, you see that, unlike usual, this bar that is normally very empty and has been kind of a nice place for you to go and have a little drink on your own, you see that there's somebody standing outside. There's never been a doorman here. And as you approach, the man puts out a hand and he says, Whoa. Where do you think you're going, friend?
Just getting a drink.
He says, the bar is closed right now.
Why?
He says, none of your business, that's why.
Is there anything I can do to get in there? I slip him 1 golden coin.
He says, that's sweet, but just come back later. It's in your best interest, friend. Go ahead and roll perception.
Jeez, I'm really battling my, this is tough. All right, perception. 5.
5. You don't notice much. You see that there are a couple windows. There's a couple kind of on the ground floor, but those seem like they have the shutters closed. You do see that there's a couple that are up on the roof that kind of look in, but that's all that you notice with perception.
You know, I'm a little buzzed. I'm a little nosy. I think I'm gonna go around and try to peek through a window.
I thought you were saying that to him. He's like, don't.
No, I'm telling you.
For sure.
So-
Where would you like to go? Are you going to try to look on one of the upper windows or the lower ones?
Yeah, let me say bye to this guy first and be polite because I don't want him to suspect me. All right, thank you for your service. I appreciate I'm the bodyguard as well. I'll see you next time.
He goes, yeah. All right. Real condescending.
So yeah, I'd like to go to the top window.
Yeah, how would you like to make your way up there? Where would you like to climb from?
Let's go around the side, this side, as far away from the bodyguard as possible.
For sure.
Or the bouncer, whatever he is.
Go ahead and put
Skip
Vera
your
where
way
she
over.
was there.
It's like sorry.
Don't make me skip.
Slide.
Slide me on my chair.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Go ahead and roll dexterity to climb on up there. It's only going to be a 8.
Yes,
Nice.
awesome. 11.
11. You climb up there, no problem. Right onto the roof, and you see a little window that you can peek through.
I peek through the window and just look at everything, and I do a big whiff.
Yes, you roll perception for me.
Wow. 12.
12.
Woo!
You
Damn.
get an immediate lay of the land in here. You see that there are 2 Jade Eagles standing in the room. You see the one that was at the door. He is now walking in through the front door, and he's going to turn around, and he has his back to the door now on the inside.
How bad do I want this beer?
You see somebody that you recognize, actually. You see Vera piling gold coins into a bag. You and Vera, of course, grew up in the same city, in the Crimson Wolf Empire, on different sides of the law, Vera being the thief, you being the law enforcement. You and her have a long relationship of you arresting her, her escaping custody, her punching you, you punching her, just all sorts of fun, years and years of cat and mouse together, or wolf and wolf, if you will.
Good times, really good times.
With a 12, you can also start to hear the conversation on the inside if you want to eavesdrop.
Yes, please.
As you're piling the last of the gold coins into the bag, you hear the woman say, she says, I'd like to ask you a hypothetical.
All right, I don't really deal with hypotheticals, but shoot.
She says, well, I know you're well-versed in gold. Tell me something. What do you think is more valuable? A bag of gold coins or the same amount of gold coins melted down into its pure form?
A bag of gold coins.
She says, I see you have some insight. Yes, every gold coin is, of course, mined and stamped in Darulu. It is embossed with magic so that it cannot be replicated or counterfeited. You know what gives it its value? The legitimacy. She stands up from the table. She says, you, my friend, have no legitimacy. You are just a thief. A good thief, but a thief. And she says, the best discretion cannot be bought. It can only be paid for in blood. And she grabs her staff from behind her.
I'm going to ready my weapons, and I'm going to vanish.
Oh.
Yeah? You sure can.
We're prepared.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to look at her and say, oh, usually blood is my favorite kind of payment, and I'm going to attempt to vanish in a cloud of smoke.
You are going to have to roll initiative against her.
Oh,
You got
all right.
this.
Let's go.
Okay.
Nice all day. Come on.
16?
She rolled a 16 exactly.
Oh, what does that mean?
So what is your dexterity modifier?
2.
2. Hers is only 1.
Yo!
So you are 1 second faster than her. So as you stand up and you go to throw your smoke powder, you see her staff passing like so close to your head right before the vanish initiates. Where are you vanishing to?
I'm going to try to vanish literally just right out the door.
Oh, I thought we were going to fight them.
I don't know you're there,
I
man.
know. I was going to dive in, but I know you need to escape.
She's literally surrounded.
Yeah. You vanish right
yes.
outside the door. You hear her saying, where did she go? Go look for her, find her. And she snaps at the guy by the door.
I like to run immediately over and catch up to Vera.
I'm also going to run this way.
Oh, perfect.
As fast as I can. I'm bolting. I'm not as fast as Blur, but I'm pretty fast.
So
Right.
I jump down right as she turns the corner.
And as you turn that corner, you hear the front door of the bar slam open as the Jade Eagles come running out.
Vera,
Oh, Blur.
some things never change.
Why
huh?
do we always meet like this?
Do you want help in the fight, or do you want to run?
I think I'll do what I do best and let's run.
I'm with you.
The two of you start running through the city. You see, these were not the only Jade Eagles that this woman had on her team. You see these two go and start spreading the word, and you see a couple more Jade Eagles coming out of like hiding places kind of around the neighborhood. And they're going to start searching for you guys. So I'm going to need you guys to go ahead and roll stealth as you try to find a hiding place within the city.
Okay.
11.
Oh
That's
no.
a critical failure. 2-1.
just as you round the corner, you slam like chest to chest
Oh.
right into a Jade Eagle woman. And she immediately stops, sees you, and brandishes her staff at you. And she says, "Oh no, you're not getting away from this."
You come here often? Not the first time I've had a staff pointed at me. I should not have said that. I should not have said that. Please. I'm cut that out.
Keep it
in. She knows from her many years of playing cat and mouse when she is the mouse and when she has been caught. So she's going to raise her hands and put them behind her head and look at her and say, all right. Do your worst then.
She says, "What, here in the street?"
Well, you're brandishing your staff at me, so?
She says, "Come on then, meet your end with honor." And she starts walking you over to the front of the bar.
Am I just watching this go down?
You are right now.
I didn't want to jump in. Can I?
I'm going to take a glance up at you.
Okay. I don't want to be rude and speak over anyone. I'm going for a backstab.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Roll to hit with advantage.
Let's go, bro.
He's on his assassin creed.
Yo!
9 plus
Literally.
10, so 10
Hits you
total.
on the door.
10 total.
Oh, wait.
That is going to hit. She can't defend because she is not seeing you at all right now. Go ahead and roll for damage.
4, 6, then my plus was 7.
7. You jump down and you stab her right through her shoulder blades, cutting deep. It doesn't fully kill her, but you hear her, and she coughs up blood right onto the back of Vera's head.
Sorry.
It's all right. I already needed to hit the watering hole.
That's why you wear red anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It blends in.
She immediately loosens her grip on your wrists.
Oh, I'm going for the kill.
Yeah, for sure. Roll to hit with advantage.
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 Oh, you're so right. Those 3, 8,
Nice.
and 10.
10 will hit once again.
Cool.
Kill her, Vera. Kill
All
her.
right.
First kill of the game. Come on.
All right, that is plus 3, 5.
5 damage. That is just barely enough to kill her.
Yes.
So describe how you kill.
So when she sees Blur come down and give her that stab, and the minute she lets go of her wrist, she's going to immediately knock her to the ground, take her assassin dagger to her jugular, and immediately take it out and start disposing of the body.
As you guys are stuffing the body into a barrel,
Fun style.
It's
Like old times.
Like the old days.
Take him off the board.
yeah, you
I'm
hear
just-
shouting from just around the corner. You hear, "I heard something over this way. Come, quickly."
I immediately point up. Rooftops?
Rooftops.
Go ahead and roll dexterity to make a rooftop escape.
Damn,
Okay, I'm giving you a new
7.
7 and
I'm 12.
12.
Wow,
Nice.
13. I'm higher.
If you need the power. of
Blur makes his way up to the top of the rooftop before you. He helps you up, and the two of you guys hop rooftop to rooftop, running silently and stealthily, just as is the Crimson Wolf way. And the two of you make your escape through the city, slowly but surely losing the Jade Eagles.
Oh, Blur, I've never been so glad to run into you, literally.
Do you know where I could get a beer?
Well, I'm sure beer is not a hard commodity to find around here. I
Right.
could use one myself.
But we're stuck on the rooftops for a while, so you got anything on you?
Unfortunately, no, but I have plenty of gold to buy you. Much better than a beer, my friend.
Let's head towards the festivities in Blended.
Sounds good.
Nice. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, real.
You guys make your way to the festivities. Goodwin. Goodwin is making his way through the neighborhood of Hanji. Of course, one of the poorer parts of town, but it's just like right up there. Of course.
Over
Naturally.
there.
Over yonder. Where yonder window breaks.
Goodwin is obviously not from this city, but he is still a Jade Eagle and feels a little bit more at home in the Jade Eagle Empire. You've traveled a long way for someone of your age in seek of something that you need very desperately as you make your way through the streets of Honshu.
Okay. Yeah, my character's name is Goodwin Natch. He's a 16-year-old boy, very scrawny. He is kind of tall for his age. He's a coward. And he uses a slingshot mainly and dressed in green robes. Yeah, Goodwin makes his way, and as he's walking, he, under his breath to himself, is, I'm Goodwin Natch, and I'm hand me the supplies. Give me your supplies. And yeah, he's just like muttering to himself as he makes his way.
And as you do, you pass an alleyway and you hear
Yeah, he like hesitantly turns.
You hear a voice call out to you. Down the alleyway, dumbass, come on.
Sorry. And yeah, he makes it down the alleyway.
You look and...
Ignore that face I just made.
You look down the alleyway and you see a man that you've become familiar with as he's been your supplier for a good while now. You are here to meet with him yet again. You've regularly come to meet him to buy your supplies. You would normally get about 2 weeks worth for 20 gold. So sometimes you would buy multiple weeks at a time if you had to be on a trip or anything like that. Okay. So you're here to meet with this man yet again.
Okay.
He says, Goodwin, you are much older than last time I saw you. You are what, 11, 12 now?
18, but I mean, who's counting, right?
He says, I'm certainly not. Come on, let's conduct our business.
Okay.
I am a busy man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just whatever price sounds good to you.
He says, you're being weird. Come.
Okay, yeah. And he gets closer. So it's like 10, 20 pieces. I mean, last time it was like 15. But I'll pay extra if I need to. Yeah.
He says, good to know. Times are lean and prices have gone up as supply goes down. It will be 40 gold pieces for normal supply. 2 weeks worth. That's what you're looking for, yes?
Right. Yeah. So just 40. Just 40.
Just 40 gold pieces.
Okay. Perfect.
You look nervous.
I'm not of the sort at all. What? Me? Nervous? A little bit. So here's the 40. And this is the blood.
Yes, it is the blood. Yes, the Leviathan blood.
For sure. Hands him the 40.
He takes the gold, puts it in his pack, and he hands you a little satchel full of bottles kind of rattling around.
And you just kind of like see this like relief wash over him as he like slowly takes them and puts them. He's like covered in pockets. He's got a bunch of different stuff in a backpack. And yeah, he's like putting them away. Just thank you.
Nez, the man that you of course know, you know his name is Nez. He says, there is, I heard, magical competition. You plan on submitting yourself?
Well, I would. I was thinking maybe doing the archery. Just as an eagle, I don't think many would like to see my abilities.
Oh yes, they look down on blood magic in Mithril, do they not?
Hey, just magic.
They think you are weak because you did not come into your magic by strength of mind. As you are having this conversation with him, you hear steps coming up behind you, and you hear a little voice call out. And the voice says, that's the guy right there.
I immediately turned, dropping my
I swear I did it! He gave it to me!
He overpriced and he charged me everything I have. It's him. He robbed me.
So your scream when you exclaimed, immediately you see the kid scurry off and he runs inside this building. There's a door up here and he sprints inside. You look and you see a giant golden bear standing there with a Jade Eagle woman.
So Jayden pulls out his battle axe and has it at his side and says, "By order of Dorulu, push any weapons that you have on the ground. You are under arrest."
Done.
Nez looks at you and he says, "What the fuck is this? Did you bring these people here to ambush me?
No.
Were you followed?"
I was not. No. What? No.
Jayden's gonna start closing the distance between them.
He pulls his wand out of his cloak and says, "You're a greater fool than I thought you to be, Goodwin Nash." He says, "Good luck finding another supply." And he casts a spell. You see a little spark come from the tip of his wand, and a moment later you see that spark travel into the wall of this building, and the building into flames. A massive eruption fills the bottom floor of this building. As you see where the kid is, yeah. You see the entire building is very quickly engulfed in flames. Roll a dexterity check, both of you.
I got 5.
11. The blast tears open the wall closest to you. A huge chunk of bamboo lands right on top of Jayden. Jayden, you are knocked prone and you have this heavy thing on top of you now. Goodwin, you sidestep just in time to watch as Nez sprints down the alleyway in the opposite direction. The woman at the end of the alleyway, Bretta, she goes, my son, he's in there! My son's in that building!
Goodwin realizes that it's his fault. He's gonna cast Fire Cloak on himself and run into the building.
Okay.
Are you running on top of him? Well,
there's a blast in the wall, right?
Yeah, right there.
Nice.
So, yeah. Cloak myself in flames. I'm gonna sprint and go look.
Describe what it looks like when you cast Flame Cloak.
Yeah, you just see I have to take off my glove and I quickly bite a piece of my hand, and you can tell that my hand is just mutilated, just chunks being taken out of it. I do that and I around myself on the floor, and then as I'm doing that, you just see flames spin around me as I charge it.
Spin around.
They twirl around.
You run into a room. It looks like it might be a hallway. You see that there is one door leading deeper into the building, but the frame around it has collapsed in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and charge into it.
Okay, go ahead and roll to get up.
Cool.
And how you want to charge into it? So
just with the shoulder.
Yeah, go ahead and roll fitness.
I got a 6.
Wow. A 6 on the fitness?
Yep.
You struggle and you just barely slide it off you, but it takes you a while.
And so the dude's completely out of sight, right?
Yeah, at this point, yeah, with the amount of time it took you.
As Jayden gets up, he looks towards the Bretta, yeah, and says, "Stay there!" and takes off after Goodwin.
Yeah. What did you roll?
10.
10. You fucking you slam into the doorway. It is not enough. This doorway is fully collapsing. You see that there's one beam that is holding the roof in, and that beam is on fire, and it is dropping more and more debris into the building.
How tall is this building?
It is probably 25 feet at its peak, and it has kind of a vaulted ceiling.
25 feet at its peak?
Mm-hmm.
And at the peak is where it's breaking?
Yes, yeah, there is a beam that kind of supports most of the roof, and that beam is on fire. Jayden, as you make your way into the building, you see that there's a wall of flame kind of blocking you from going deeper in without getting seriously burned.
Jayden yells out, "Creeper!"
That was his name, right? Yes, yeah. You hear the boy call out from deep in the building. You hear him yelling, "Help! Help me! I'm trapped!"
Yeah, I take another bite and I shoot up, and I'm gonna try and cast Wall of Frost
Okay.
along the beam, try and like solidify it for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
temporarily.
You don't have to. Well, yeah. Roll to hit. Roll to hit the effective area.
Yeah. 10.
That's
10.
20.
You pull back your slingshot, coat it in blood, and a big wall of ice crystallizes along the beam, stabilizing it. No more of the roof is going to collapse in than what already has.
So can I see him?
You can see like his silhouette behind this wall of flame. You just see this kid shoot a big ice blast up onto the ceiling.
Jayden doesn't care about the flame. He's running in for that kid.
For sure.
Nice.
Not for you, kid, but the other kid.
Yeah, and as soon as I cast that, I kind of like drop to my knee, and you start seeing I'm like heavily sweating. Not from the heat, but just like exhausted.
Hell yeah.
You are going to take 5 points of fire damage as you come in.
No deflection?
No deflection on fire.
Okay, so I'm gonna run back behind Goodwin. Grab him by the. What are you wearing?
A cloak.
Yeah, grab him by his cloak and kind of like stand him up on his feet. And Jayden says, "Don't you die on me yet. I have questions for you." And kind of like push it past him. This is a doorway.
That has collapsed in. Yeah.
I heard that Krifa was like, where was it about?
Like this way.
Okay. And the door is completely collapsed.
Yes.
Perfect. So Jayden brings out his battle axe, which was out anyway, and just starts hacking away at the debris, trying to clear it.
Cool. Roll fitness for me.
Medieval
With
firefighter.
advantage. The old firefighter.
Nice. 2 5s plus, so 12.
12. You smash down the doorway in front of you, and it crumbles open. You see a big open hallway. You see that there is a huge pile of debris in front of where you can hear Krifa calling out, and it is burning white hot.
Yeah, fucking Jayden keeps running like with no self-preservation in mind, just books it down that hallway towards the hot flame. And he yells to Krifa on the other side of the wall, says, "Back up!" And he's going to try and literally just run through the door and burst a hole through
That's
it.
going to be very, very difficult while it's on fire. If you want to roll for it, it's going to be a 13 with disadvantage.
Whoa, God. So he's going to first take his great axe to it to weaken the area a little bit more.
Okay.
Take a few swings at it, weaken the structure, and then try and burst through it.
Gotcha.
Still,
Fitness?
yeah, cool.
Yeah, when I saw him break through the first door, I was like, could have done that.
Well, I hope you're willing to live up to that. 5.
5. You are trying to swing at it with your axe, but now the flames are like all around you, and they're like singeing your arms as you do this. You're going to take another 4 points of damage.
I get up as close to Jayden as I can, and I put a hand on my go. You better do this quick. And I decast the frost wall. And I'm going to cast elemental blast of frost on the door.
Nice.
Hopefully, like weaken it.
Yeah.
And 10.
10. You pull back your ice blast. You immediately as a big a big blast of ice crashes into the door. You see about half of it melts right away. The rest of it solidifies in that doorway, kind of making it more fragile almost, and completely putting out the flames in the area.
Nice. Jaden's gonna go for it again. And you're weakened, right?
Oh,
You're like
yeah.
starting to fall.
Oh yeah.
This time Jaden does it a little bit more gently, where he lifts him up, but kind of gets him out of the way too.
Uh-huh.
And he brings back his axe, exactly, and says, "Krifa!" He calls out to Krifa to like, "Krifa, are you okay back there?"
He goes, "It's really hot!"
All right, and Jayden, with all of his strength, tries to break down the door with his great axe.
Give me one more fitness. It's only going to be a 10 now.
Okay, with advantage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah! Double advantage? So that's a 7.
A 7. You hack away, the ice is chipping, but there is still a serious amount of debris there, and the flames are starting to leak their way back in. And you're actually going to take a little more fire damage. This time it's only going to be 3.
Okay, so
if I'm close enough, does my cloak of flame not?
It wouldn't
well?
protect him, it would
Okay.
just shield you from that flame damage.
as you see him starting to really hack at the door and stuff, you see flames are catching onto his cloak, onto the leather pieces of his armor. You can see burn marks starting to creep up on him, but he's just so focused on getting through this door. And
you hear Krifa going, "Help!"
So would Jayden have a better chance throwing all of his weight at this door?
At this point, probably.
Jayden's gonna literally, doesn't care if there's flames around it, doesn't care, just is gonna burst through that door with all of his might.
Give me one more fitness.
I like push him from behind.
Could I have the power of friendship?
No advantage.
That's it.
No advantage because you're not using your axe, but it's only going to be an 8 now since you've weakened the doorway substantially.
Come on, Jake.
Here we go.
Oh god.
5. It wasn't my dice that did it, by the way.
Your dice gave me a 2.
Better than a 1.
True.
The flames are starting to rise behind you now at this point, not just in front of you, and you are now almost fully engulfed in fire. You do not hear Krifa on the other side of the door, and you are going to take 7 points of damage.
You see, like, the flame, it's catching onto his hair. It almost looks like he's engulfed in flames. It's starting to catch up. And, but his sole focus is on that door and just getting through it. And
Yeah. So yeah, he's seeing you struggle. I'm starting to panic. And I'm just gonna push myself to my limit. And you see me bite again, and I like mark myself, and you see like my eyes start to glow as I use my blood infusion to try and blast this wall completely open with ice.
Roll to hit.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You watch as Goodwin finally gets himself back in working order. He pulls back his slingshot and he fires it, and the doorway, so much so, you see ice daggers shoot into parts of the wall. This entire side of the building is blown outwards as this massive explosion of ice puts out all the nearby fires and blasts the wall open. You see Krifa is in there. He is laying next to his bed on the floor, unconscious.
Jayden instantly is gonna run straight for the kid and try and, while putting himself out, pick the kid up and just get him outside the door.
Yeah.
Or outside the wall.
You do so, no problem.
And
As soon as I finish that, you see the glow go away and I collapse into the door.
the moment he places down Krifa, he turns back around and he runs to grab Goodwin and says, "Now's not a time for a nap!" and grabs him and drags him out, much less carefully than with Krifa.
Of course.
When we meet you, Michael, we're like, what happened to this?
Yeah, his hair's like burned at the edges. The second he gets the kid and Goodwin out, he kind of has to take a knee using his axe to stabilize himself. With the smoke coming off of him, he's just kneeling in front of the kid.
You do exactly that. You see Bretta comes running around the corner. She immediately runs to her son. She's holding him. She's, trying to like clean the smoke and soot off of his face. She's pressing on his chest. You hear him kind of cough himself back to consciousness. You see Goodwin has not had the same effect. He is out.
So,
CPR.
oh yeah, can I see if he's breathing or?
He is breathing, but he is fully unconscious.
Okay. So, Jaden, looks off towards Goodwin and then focuses back on the kid and says, "Are you doing all right?"
I'm okay. I'm okay. What took you so long?
I guess they make these doors stronger than I thought. You were brave back there.
Roll charisma. Let's see how brave he was.
7.
Nice. He goes, was I really?
He kind of looks to the mom and then looks back at the kid and says, "Yes. You'll make a fine warrior someday."
She smiles at her son and kind of tussles his hair. You hear the building collapse in on itself as it's engulfed further in flames.
Was that their house?
Mm-hmm. You see Bretta is crying.
Right.
You also see that as the building collapses in on itself, Goodwin regains consciousness.
The second that Jayden realizes that he regained consciousness, he's gonna grab him really close by the cloak and say, "First, thank you for what you did. But that person you were with is wanted by the law. Who is he?"
Goodwin immediately starts like checking his pockets and see him like pop one of the.
You see him drinking this disgusting, thick, black, like crimson black goo.
As he drinks most of it, Jayden's gonna kind of pull it out of his hand and kind of inspect it.
Yeah,
to see if he
roll
knows what he-
perception.
It's like Prometheus.
It's
Like goo.
8.
It's very clearly blood. You maybe can't tell specifically what kind.
Sniff it, all that.
it's made of juice. I burnt it a little bit this morning.
Sure.
Can I have it back?
If you
Please?
tell me who you were speaking with.
Oh, the scary guy.
It's scary, but
You're scary. You're kind of scary. But anyways, I mean, he did it. Yeah, his name's Nez.
Nez.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you know this Nez?
He sells things like soup,
What sort of things?
like potions, and it's blood. It's blood. He sells blood. He sells supplies. He sells everything. What do you want to know? Just ask. Like just.
Where can I
Please.
find this Nez?
I don't know. In the alleyway where I just saw him. Like that's the only place I've ever met him. I don't even know. I don't search out those kinds of things. I literally don't know, man. I literally have no idea. Please.
Thank you for that. And he lets go of his cloak. He gives him a disgusted look as he watched this guy just guzzle blood.
Like puts his glove back on. Wash his face.
Oh, now that I see him put on the glove, can I put the two together? Do I know anything about blood magic?
Roll intelligence to see. if you-
Can I use my golden dice?
Sure.
Not against me, man.
Oh, it did terribly, but 8, 10. The other dice did all right.
10? You would know. You've been all over. You know the Crimson Wolves especially are... the Crimson Wolves and the Cobalt Sharks are both pretty fond of blood magic. So you would recognize it, although each blood mage is kind of unique in their abilities and their presentation. You would know that between the combination of him imbibing in strange blood and utilizing magic in that fashion, you would recognize a blood mage.
And I would know that that's Leviathan blood. Like I know.
Yes. Yes.
Spat check. How'd you get 10 with 2 2s and a -2
It was
on
a
your
6.
intelligence modifier?
I rolled the orange. Check the cameras. I rolled an orange.
Check the tapes. Check the tapes.
So he looks as he puts him down. He says, "A blood mage, huh? I assume that's your Leviathan blood."
Bretta looks at you disapprovingly upon hearing the mention of blood magic.
I would.
She picks up her son. She says, I'm going to go get the fire brigade. I suggest both of you are gone by the time they get here. I'm sure they won't look kindly on a blood mage. And she heads off with her son.
As she's walking off, he says, "Bretta, I swear on the Bronze Claw name, he will pay for this."
She looks back and she says, "He better." As you guys, as you make your way through the city, you are now very distant. You are out of this neighborhood. You're out of Hanji. You see trailing behind you is a man in like a purple cloak. Long, flowing purple cloak that kind of trails behind him. And you've round a couple corners and you notice he is still following you.
Don't look back. We're being
Immediately looks back.
The man, as you look back, he raises his hand and smiles at you.
Hey, he's waving to us.
Do you know that man?
No,
Did your parents ever tell you not to talk to strangers?
no.
He says, "Hello there. Could I speak with you for a moment?"
Yeah, let's talk to him. Hey, what's up?
As he like kind of jogs to catch up with you.
Jayden reluctantly goes with Goodwin to meet with them.
He says, "That was some real heroics back there. I saw the whole thing."
Yeah.
A great display of magic and brawn. A rare display indeed.
Did you see the man who started the fire?
That coward that ran off into the distance. I did see him.
Do you recognize him?
No, although I know this part of town is home to many unsavory folk. He says, "What are your names?"
First tell us yours.
My name?
Yes, your name.
You want to know my name? He says, "My name is Artrice. It is good to make your acquaintance. And the two of you?"
First of my name, first of my prestige. Goodwin.
And you, brave golden warrior?
All you need is the name Jayden.
He says, "Jayden, Goodwin, good to make your acquaintance." He says, "My employer has implored me to find individuals of rare talent, those who display traits of heroism, bravery, rare talents such as yourselves."
Could I roll perception to see if he's as like suspicious as he sounds? Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
Goodwin's oblivious. He's just so happy you're like praising him and like telling him he's an awesome warrior.
So is Jayden, I guess. Perception, so 5.
He's a weird looking dude, and he's definitely like enigmatic. Like it's hard to get a read on him, like really hard to get a read on him. You see he has 2 different colored eyes. One is purple and one is green.
Cool.
And he has a shaved head under his purple cloak, and he has like really nice, like perfect teeth.
And who is your employer?
He says, "I'm not strictly at liberty to say. However, if you would like to meet him," he pulls out 2 little slips of paper. He says, "He has asked me to gather such rare talents as yourself at the old temple of Vespis, just off the coast. He says, if you'll meet him there, he'll explain everything, but he has a need for individuals who are brave and heroic like yourself."
If you couldn't tell, we're sort of in the middle of summer. There's a dangerous man causing fires, explosions.
He says, "I would not wish to disrupt, but my employer has access to many resources, informants, contacts within the guard. a network of spies. He could be quite helpful if you're willing to meet with him.
Absolutely.
He says, it is a zero obligation meeting. Simply come to the old temple of Vespis, meet with him, and he will explain everything.
And I'm sure you'll make it worth our while.
He says, my employer is very generous.
We'll let your employer know we have about 500 more mighty men like this one. At least. Under my command, of course.
He says, should they prove their heroism as the two of you did, I will be sure to find them myself.
Okay.
He says, so we will see you this evening then.
Absolutely.
He says, oh goody, I do look forward to it. Now you two enjoy the festivities and continue your heroism.
Will do.
Udara guide you.
He turns around and ducks down an alleyway, his cloak billowing behind him.
And one more time, what was his name?
Artrice.
I really like that. Is that like a catchphrase or something? That's really cool.
Udara, entity of the Golden Bear Empire.
Oh, yeah, but like, the whole, like, that was really cool.
We're going to cut back over to Vera and Blur. You guys have now made your way through the city, successfully losing those Jade Eagle thugs that were following you guys. You guys can both take 10 entity favor for sneaking away, as is the Crimson Wolf way. You've made your way to the festival grounds outside the city. You see several competitions of brains and brawn going on all throughout the Red Oak Forest. You guys see that there is a massive competition about to begin. This one being an archery competition. And you make your way to the stands after grabbing, I assume, very large steins of beer or wine.
Cheers!
You read my mind. Cheers.
Cheers.
Great escape, Vera.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Now let's watch these archers, huh? Take a little break.
As the two of you sit down, you see that there is a man sitting in the seat next to you in a long purple cloak.
What does he smell like?
What does he smell like?
I'm not paying any attention to him yet. There's a lot of weird looking people.
He leans over and he says, it's exciting, isn't it?
Ah!
What has he had to drink?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's great being here.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to my friend here. Did you need something?
He says, oh no, I know exactly what you were doing before this.
What's that?
He says, my employer has eyes and ears all over this city.
What do you know?
He says, I happen to know that both of you showed a very impressive utilization of stealth. He says, I know you had some thugs trying to fight you, and the two of you managed to evade their capture.
It's true.
Apparently we weren't that stealthy. You were able to catch us.
Well, you didn't know I was looking for you. And yet here you are. He says, it's not an easy feat to evade capture in a foreign land. This is their home territory, and here the two of you are, blending right back in.
Trying to, at least.
He says, don't worry, I don't wish to expose you. Simply wish to make an offer to you. He says, my employer could utilize talents such as yours. Rare talents, indeed.
I looked at Vera. Are you busy?
I could use a job.
I'm looking for work too. Who's your employer?
He says, I'm not at liberty to state at this time, but I can sense that the two of you value your own labor very highly, yes?
Yes.
Then you will be compensated just as highly as I'm sure you deserve.
Could I get his whiff just in case I need a scent?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Just in case he's gonna creepy. He's gonna
Right.
He's gonna ditch us.
Yeah, how do we know we can trust you?
Oh man. 4.
Oh, you were on a roll, man.
I'm glad I used my good rolls for those.
Vera got something high.
11.
11?
You know how
You only got a plus 1?
12, 13.
Yeah, I was like,
You guys are on either side of him, like,
That's
I'm like,
perception.
that's way higher.
Yeah, that's perception, right? Yeah.
You ate eggs this morning.
You
And
just
bacon.
talked to Jade Eagle Boy and a Golden Bear Man, and
This guy has a really distinct smell about him. He smells like berries, like fresh berries. Like he has a really, really sweet, almost like plum smell to him. You can also smell with such a high roll that he was recently near a fire.
Do I get anything? I only rolled a 4.
No. He smells sweet to you for sure.
You can smell vicariously through me.
Well, so I get a whiff. I look at Vera. Vera, I give you a nod. We're interested.
He says, very, very good. It is, of course, non-committal. My employer simply wishes to make his pitch to you, make his case, as I'm sure you've had many times before. He hands you both a slip of paper with a little location marked on it. And he says, this evening there will be a meeting of like-minded individuals at the old Temple of Vespis. It is just off the ocean. You can wait for the low tide, or you can take a boat out there. It won't take long.
All right. Can we get back to watching this?
He says, yes, of course. You don't mind if I sit next to you, do I? Do you?
I rather enjoy the smell.
What, you said what?
I'm a little embarrassed by that remark.
Wait, what's your name?
You want to know my name?
Well, if you're going to be sitting with us, might as well make your acquaintance. She's a bit into her stein now, so she's feeling a little chatty.
He says, my name is Artrice. And the two of you?
Vera.
You can call me Blur.
Blur and Vera. Very good to make your acquaintance. Oh, I do hope that we find more promising individuals from this competition today.
What was your name?
Artrice.
Artrice. Do you want to have a beer with us?
Oh, no, I prefer not to imbibe.
Okay, well, back to the show.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The competition has just begun, and the other archers are kind of taking their place. So, Jayton and Teodoro, you guys are standing in a line with 7...
Not Jayton.
Yeah, it's like, what is
Wrong golden bear!
He picks up a bow and is like, alright, I think I've got this.
Ileana and Teodoro, you two find yourselves getting ready for this competition. You have a full quiver of certified arrows that they have handed to each of you. You are standing in a line with a total of 7 archers, so you two plus 5 others, all of whom have passed through the qualifying round and are now here at the finals competing for the grand prize. There's a man standing at the far end of the range. He says, It is time for the finals for our lovely archery competition, and what great contestants we have today. and he kind of like claps excitedly. Can you two roll perception for me?
Yes.
Anytime.
You guys too as well. It'll just be a harder check for you.
6.
9.
Damn! Perceptive.
The three of y'all notice that one of the stands is reserved exclusively for the current Paragon. And she has come and taken her seat. You see that there's several other official-looking Jade Eagles kind of around her. Ileana, you also notice, you are like eagle-eyed, you are zoned in right now. As the competition is starting and everybody's kind of taking their places, you notice that the Paragon has a handmaiden that is pouring her drinks, and you notice she's doing like really heavy pours. And like anytime the Paragon takes a drink, her handmaiden comes and refills her cup right away. With a 12, you also notice the handmaiden has kind of a weird tattoo on her hand, but you can't like make out what it is necessarily. At the front of the archery range, that same man says, our first round will consist of precision exercises. So, your goal is to place as many arrows as closely as possible. Your quivers should have 5 arrows apiece, and you want to place as many as you can within the eagle's eye of the target. He says, do you understand the rules as they have been described to you?
Aye.
Yes.
He says, very good then. There are no points for speed, so take your time and land your shots accurately. The man scurries off as literally seconds later, you look over and Chevron, just as the man is clear, pulls back his bow and lets loose an arrow that flies with insane strength and speed. You see that his bow is several degrees longer than everybody else's. You expect that it's probably a much heavier bow than the rest of you shoot with. You see that his arrow flies and it right into the eagle's eye of the target, and it pierces fully through it. You see it slide through the target about halfway down the shaft. An impressive shot that everybody notices, and you see that the audience all claps as he lands his first shot, and he goes to knock his other arrow.
This guy.
He looks over at the two of you. He says, "Well, I'll be done by the time you two start shooting." And he lets go of another arrow immediately. That lands incredibly close to the first one, just right on the money.
Damn. Yeah. Teo's gonna go ahead, knock his arrow, and let loose.
Let's go.
12.
12.
Nice.
You hit the eagle's eye, no problem. Anything above a 10 is going to be a perfect shot in this.
Cool.
For how close the target is. Go ahead and roll, Ileana.
There's dexterity, right?
It'll be with your bow to hit.
I knew that. 11.
Nice, yeah, you land another perfect shot.
Nice. I look over at Chevron and I go, looks like there's some pretty stiff competition for you, huh?
He says, "It won't be stiff for long." And lets go of another arrow. This one fucking whiffs. Absolutely flies over the target completely. You could tell that you got into his head to some degree.
A little bit of stage fright, friend. And I go and I knock and I'm gonna go loose another arrow.
Yeah, go ahead. Both of y'all roll to hit again.
No. No more shit talking.
An 8.
An 8, it hits the target, but it is not an eagle's eye shot.
Okay.
9,
Nice.
yours is right on the line, but still won't count as an eagle's eye shot. He says, "Oh, we all have our ups and downs. Mine are mostly ups, though." Boosh! And lets go of another shot.
Go, Chevron!
That one also goes right into the eagle's eye.
Take away this man's dice. No? Yeah, Teo's just gonna... No shit talking, just...
I don't know, this isn't working.
Nice. 11.
11, you get another eagle's eye shot.
Yeah.
I don't know, Blur. I might be putting my money on that one.
9 again.
9 again, right on the line. Just
I look over at Eliana, I don't know her name, but I go, consistency is key. And I go to ready another shot.
Chevron says, "Actually, being the better archer is key, so I'm afraid the both of you will be lacking on that count." And he lets go of his final arrow. Also lands right in the bullseye of the target. He landed 4 out of 5.
There is no way.
Chevron!
Wow.
He's got fans in the crowd.
11.
Nice.
You were hungover though.
Yeah,
True. Shouldn't have partied so hard.
Yours lands just outside of the bounds of the eagle's eye. And yours also hits right where you intend.
Just gonna, yeah.
Come on, Shark.
You both have-
Shark
You
boy!
both have one more arrow at this point.
Okay. 8. So I got
He's getting worse.
redemption.
One shot.
Redemption.
One opportunity.
I look over at Eliana, I'm like, calm, inhale, and as soon as you exhale, loose your arrow.
Don't tell me what to do. That's all.
2 6s.
10.
Exactly. Both of y'all, that was 2 6s?
Yeah.
You pull back your bow and split your first arrow perfectly down the middle. You also get an eagle's eye shot. Chevron, you could see he looks over at you, impressed that you landed that shot. A mediocre performance from the two of you, but what else would you expect? You're not me.
Right, we aren't you. We didn't miss.
I only missed one shot, and the rest of them were eagle's eye, so...
Fair enough.
How many did you get? How many eagle's eye did you get?
I got 2 eagle's eyes.
Oh, 2? Oh, I have
3
double
air
that.
eagles.
That's interesting.
But did you split an arrow though?
That was quite impressive.
Thank you.
Albeit those were your only 2 eagle die shots.
Semantics.
The judges make their way back to the stands, and the man with the high-pitched voice says, "We'll be moving on to the next round. 2 of the competitors will be eliminated." And he says, "The honorable competitor from the Golden Bear Empire." He's not pointing at Ilyana, however. He points at a man down at the end that throws his bow down all frustrated and storms off. "And the honorable competitor from the Jade Eagle Empire," and points at a woman down on the end, and she bows very gracefully at the audience and then walks off. She says, "The judges have allowed an additional contender to continue to the next round by virtue of her very impressive split arrow shot." You know that you did get the least amount of eagle eye shots out of everybody, but by splitting that arrow, you proved that you still have something to show these motherfuckers.
Nice. She's her.
She's her.
A bunch of workers go out and they clear the targets away. They take them out of the field. The man with the high-pitched voice says, "For the next round, the competitors will be in direct competition. Our wonderful high mages will be throwing targets into the air, and the first person to hit the target gets the point." He says, "Do all of you understand the rules as they have been described to you?"
Shoot the high mages.
No. Please do not shoot the high mages. They will be throwing targets into the air, and that is what you will be firing at.
Ah, yes. Of course, I knew that.
He says, "Very good." He says, "Once a target has been shot, it is out of play, so the first person to hit the target gets the point." He turns around and heads off. You guys see 2 Jade Eagles with cloaks walk up and stand next to the stands. Each of them has a pile of rather small, they're kind of like the size of dinner plates, but they're these green discs that have a Jade Eagle insignia on them.
Nice.
And each of them has a stack on either side of the pitch. They, you can see each of them begins casting a spell, and you see green energy kind of swirl around them as the discs start lifting up. And each of them has one kind of levitating before them in their hands, spinning around. You hear the announcer say, "And begin!" And each of them tosses one of the discs up into the air. Both of you are going to roll initiative and then to hit.
Okay.
Sounds big, guys.
3.
3.
Oh.
5.
Chevron's having a good day.
Yeah.
Freaking Chevron.
You see Chevron pull back his bow and let loose, and the plate just shatters completely into several pieces. And the 2 Jade Eagle wizards on either side, you see they already have the next series of plates, and they toss 2 of them up into the air. Go ahead and roll initiative.
20!
Nice.
Yeah.
15.
Let's go.
Both of you guys hit your targets, and you are the first. The one person that was faster than you, you see his arrow goes whizzing past. Chevron was way too slow on this one. You see the Jade Eagles, the wizards, they pick up 2 plates apiece this time, and they toss. You see 4 of them flying through the air. Both of you guys go ahead and roll to take your shots. Ooh.
17.
Nice.
Yo.
What was yours? 2 people are going to take their shot before you. Nobody's shooting before you.
Let's go, Teo.
Another 10.
Yes.
You miss your shot. You see Chevron, he pulls back. He shoots 2 of them out of the air. Another person hits 1, and then you hit the last. Chevron says, "I'm sorry, we're supposed to shoot the flying things there. They took the targets away. I know shooting into the woods probably comes easy to a golden bear, but we're supposed to hit the targets now. Come on."
You mind your own business, Chevron.
This motherfucker.
I don't know where to go. Do you make a lot of friends where you go?
He says, friends, admirers, they're all the same to me. And he waves over. There is like a small crowd of like his fans, like a lot of Crimson Wolves that kind of come with him and are sort of his entourage. And they all kind of like, yeah, Chevron!
And me over on the other side.
You see that the Jade Eagles pick up 3 plates apiece this round, and all 6 of them go flying up at once. Go ahead and roll.
19.
Ooh.
Nice. 7.
Only one person was faster than you. Wow. Oh, wow. Nobody was faster than you on this one.
Yo!
12.
Double crit.
Nice.
Double.
Wow. Go ahead and roll to hit again.
Okay.
You don't need any.
So that's a 12 and an 8.
Nice. Very nice.
Or no, sorry, 12 and a 10. So.
Nice. Teodoro, you pull back your bow. You hit 2 of them in rapid succession. Ileana, you also hit 2 of them in rapid succession. Nice. Chevron fires like 3 arrows while these are in the air. All 3 miss.
I look over at Ileana and I go, don't feel too bad, Chevron. You still have your admirers, after all.
He says, and I'll have even more after I win this competition. Right now, Chevron has 3 points. The Jade Eagle woman has 2. And the other Crimson Wolf has 0 points.
Come on, Chevron, pull it together, man. You got this.
The announcer says, this is the final round, and point totals will be doubled. You see that the Jade Eagles both pick up 1 plate apiece and toss them higher than any of the other ones have gone so far.
Dirty 20.
Nice!
Oh no. Let's go, Teo.
11.
No.
Chevron rolled a 1. Yes! He pulls back. You guys can't see because you're focusing on your shot. You two in the stands, you see his muscles bulging as he pulls back his bow so
Hair tuck.
He pulls it back so hard and so angrily, his bowstring snaps. And he lets out a scream of anger. Go ahead and roll to hit you two.
Yeah. Teo's gonna like look at his cape billowing, like adjust his bow and loose his arrow. That's gonna be a 16. I got a crit.
I got 6.
6. You see Teodoro shoots one of them, and the other Crimson Wolf, who hasn't hit anything so far, he finally, in the last round, gets a little redemption. Nice. He fires his little bow and gets one to shatter. Ileana, yours misses. You guys see Chevron. He's so angry. He's flipping out right now. He takes his bow and he snaps it over his knee.
You win many competitions
like that? He throws
like
it down on the ground. He says, I win every competition.
Not this one, my friend. Better luck next time.
He charges you. He runs straight up to you, and he is going to try to take a swing at you.
I'm gonna try and sidestep that and defend.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll to defend.
Yo. I like this. Chevron.
7.
7 total.
Yeah.
He runs up.
Sorry, 4, 9. No, it was worth.
He has a +2 to his fitness, and he rolled a 9. So he runs up and he cold cocks you just right on the jaw, dealing 6 damage.
That thing's got interesting.
Jesus.
You feel your jaw just snap out of place. He says, "That'll teach you to disrespect Chevron Thick."
Daddy Thick?
Chevron Thrix! Damn it! He storms off as everybody laughs at him.
I'm gonna go and I pull out my my water pouch and I'm gonna like drink my holy water.
You do so.
Yeah. And I'm going to heal 1d8 plus 2 hit points.
That punch was well worth that mistake.
Oh, there it is.
The announcer comes out and he goes,
Full heal.
Nice.
Yeah.
The announcer walks out and he goes, "What steep competition! A wonderful, wonderful competition! Yes, yes, yes! Everybody did so wonderfully!"
Some more than others.
You can see the judges kind of conferring, and they hand him a note, and he says, "All right, everyone, time to announce our winners." He says, "In first place is Teodoro of the Cobalt Shark Empire."
I told you I should have put my money on him.
Sorry, kid.
He says, "In second place is Ileana of the Golden Bear Empire." He says, "And in third place," one of the judge whispers something in his ear. He says, "Oh, since he is not present, the third place award goes to Todo of the Crimson Wolf Empire." And the guy on the end is like, "Yeah!"
Totem.
The crowd goes wild. Everybody's super excited. Everybody is just absolutely going bonkers.
Yeah!
Teo's gonna take a step over to Ileana, and he kind of like does a little bow, and he goes, "Nice shooting. Thick may have been, a decent shot, but I think that honor is much more important, especially on the battlefield."
I agree. We both played a good game.
You see people come out. You see workers come out holding little chests, kind of lined with like jade and just encrusted with jewels.
Ooh.
One of them walks up to you with the largest of the chests, and he bows to you. And he hands it to you for you to open.
Oh, yeah, I go and I take it and I place it down and I go, "You shouldn't have, really. Thank you, I need this." And he goes and he opens the chest up.
You see in it is a jade encrusted bow. Really, really nice. Not only is this going to have a +1 to damage and to hit, anytime you hit an enemy with it, they have to succeed a DC 8 fitness check or they are knocked prone.
Nice.
One of them walks up to Ileana with a slightly smaller chest, and she bows to you.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what's in here.
You open it up, and you see that there is a bejeweled quiver in there, and it has 3 Korax arrows in it.
Yeah, nice.
They are specialty arrows, but they amplify magic. So if you use those as your specialty arrows, it will double their damage.
Oh.
Like if you do the fire.
Nice.
The announcer says, "Thank all of you for coming to the competition today. There will be more festivities and drinks to be had, and enjoy the celebration of the Paragon."
Woo! Woo! Yeah!
You see that the current Paragon is in her kind of pavilion there, and she is now like completely drunk at this point. She is like barely being able to sit up in her chair, and you see 2 of her handlers walk over and say, "It's time to go rest," and they take her away. As you guys are sitting there celebrating, everybody's having a good time. The 2 of you are approached by a man in a purple cloak.
I wonder who this could be.
No way. Does he smell like berry?
Does he smell like sweet victory? Because that's all I'm smelling right now.
He says, "That was quite an impressive performance, the 2 of you.
Why, thank you.
Thank you very much. Such dishonor that brute from the Crimson Wolf Empire brought upon himself. No one likes a sore loser."
Disgraceful.
He says, "But the 2 of you have brought great honor to yourselves, and such mighty rewards as well." He says, "I should introduce myself. My name is Artrice. What are your names?"
Teodoro, but you could just call me Teo.
Teodoro and
Ileana Solaris.
Ileana Solaris. Very good to meet the both of you. My employer has I should say, bid me find talented individuals like yourselves. Those that are not only capable of knowing their strength, but being able to display it with such grace. My employer wants me to find such individuals so that he may offer them employment just as he offered me. I don't see either of you as being in the position to turn down gold when it's offered to you.
I would love to help, but I'm in search of somebody currently. Right now, that is one of my highest priorities.
He says, I see. Well, my employer has access to a wide range of information. He has informants all over the 4 empires. He has eyes where they need to be and ears where they are needed as well. If you were to do him a favor and work for him, not only will you be compensated in gold, but you'll have access to his resources. I'm sure you'll be able to find whoever it is that is the object of your search.
Well, you do make a hard bargain. It's hard for me to refuse. What you say is true, then I will help you, your employer.
He says, good. And you, Ileana?
I'm also in search of someone, so the resources have me sold.
Excellent. This is such good news. He hands each of you a piece of paper with a little location mark on it. And he says, this evening, if you wouldn't mind meeting us at the old Temple of Vespis, it is just off the coast there. I'm sure you can find your way, being such resourceful and talented folk as you are.
Sharks always know how to find their way. I'm sure this will be no problem.
He says, excellent news, excellent. I look forward to conversing with each of you further, and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
Can I roll for perception and see if I notice anything about this guy?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, math. 15.
Nice. Holy hell. You see, as he's talking to you, he's kind of nervously like rubbing his hands together. In addition to noticing the things other people notice, like his delightful smell and his pearly white teeth, as he rubs his hand, you see there's a little bit of something coming off. You realize he has a little bit of makeup on the back of his palm, and as he nervously rubs some of it off, you notice a tattoo underneath. It has a symbol that you would maybe recognize as a Leviathan. He says, I look forward to this evening. He says, I bid you adieu, my friends. And he turns around and heads off.
Seems like a nice fellow, huh?
I think we could join the adventures.
Oh, who are they?
I don't know.
Sound like a cool group. What do you say? Grab a drink and celebrate our victory.
Huzzah! I already have one.
The two of you go to celebrate your victory. Many people come up and congratulate you.
Can I go over to Chevron's fans?
Yes.
I go and I go, Chevron, he might be a great shot, but he's not a very honorable individual. I think you guys can find somebody else better, more respectable to look up to. That's just my 2 copper.
Nice. Go ahead and roll charisma.
Sure.
Oh, I hope this flops.
That is going to be math, 12.
Nice.
Dirty 12.
Let's go.
That was really embarrassing for him, how he screamed. Is your face okay?
Yes. Thank you to Tavar. My holy water was able to fix my jaw. And I have to say also a true archer would never break his bow. Your bow is your best friend. Take care of it. It takes care of you.
Yeah, that was a really expensive bow too. Back at each other, say, "Hey, what do you say we buy you a drink?"
Well, I'm not one to turn down some drinks. Is it okay if my friend Ileana tags along?
Yeah, of course. Only if you think you can handle the way a Crimson Wolf likes to party.
I think I might be able to keep up.
All of you guys go to the refreshment pavilion and you guys drink it up. You party, there are kind of like lanterns glowing, there's a bard playing music. It is just a good raucous time. As time passes, it gets closer to the evening. to the time that you agreed to meet that man in purple. Is there anything any of you would like to do before you head to the island?
I would like to ask if, for healing myself, if I get some entity favor.
You sure do.
And how much would it?
For healing yourself, you could take 5 entity favor.
Oh yeah.
I'm so mad. That bastard was the one that I was looking for, wasn't he?
Who?
Fish fucking tattoo on his hand. God damn it.
So how are you guys all making your way to the old Temple of Vespis? You see from the shore, it's on basically what is now just a small rock. As you can see, what used to be the city around it has kind of crumbled into the ocean as the city has moved inland over the years. You can see what remains of just one of the small towers of the town.
How far is it from the shore?
It's only like 200 feet.
Oh, I'm gonna swim there.
I was wondering, are we all arriving at the same time?
I would say so.
Okay. Then you're already swimming?
Yeah.
I look to
that's
Vera.
how I work for Teo.
You want to go for it? We'll
I
swim?
really don't like
Doggy paddle.
I really don't like to get my fur wet, but I suppose.
I think we can do it. I dive in
Yeah, for sure.
beautifully like a
Are
swan.
there any like rocks that I can like jump from?
Not that are exposed to the water at this time. At low tide, there is basically a land bridge that you could take over, but it isn't.
I'd like to get over as fast as we can, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow the shark.
So Jade and Goodwin, they're making their way downtown. They're walking fast. They've seen some faces pass.
Are they homebound?
Very much so.
So as we're walking up, we're seeing these people literally just dive
Yeah,
into the water.
You've now seen 3 people dive into the water.
Jayden turns towards Goodwin and says, "Well, I'm not doing that."
Last one is a rotten egg! And he rips off his robe and cannonballs it.
Ooh.
Hey.
All right.
Jayden picks up the rope, throws it back on the ground. All right.
Hopefully it's still there when you get back.
Yeah. Is there? Can I perceive some way? I'm wearing heavy armor. If I swim, I'm drowning. Is there? Can I try and perceive a way to get around other than?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and roll perception.
Okay, 8.
8. You see about a half mile down the beach. There is a fisherman, kind of just, and she has a little fisherman's boat sitting next to her on the shore.
Way too heavy.
So much walking. Yeah, he's gonna head over to the nice fisher person.
As you walk up, she says, "Can I help you?"
Yes. I was wondering if you might be willing to part with your boat for a little bit.
Why do you need my boat?
Well, it is a matter of quite a bit of urgency to help track down a criminal. I promise you I would make it worth your while. And he pulls out some gold coins.
Roll crazy.
Okay. 7.
You see the promise of tracking down a criminal does not entice her at all, but the idea of gold is interesting. She says, "How worth is my while?"
Well, let's see. And could I try and perceive how wealthy she is?
She's a fisherman.
So, okay. He pulls out 6 gold pieces and puts it out. And as he sees that face, he reaches back in and grabs another 4 and says, "Just for the day."
For the whole day?
Probably not. He pulls out another 2, 12 gold pieces.
All right. Make sure it comes back in the same condition you put it.
Right.
It never does.
Half burnt.
Torched. It's gonna end up like the stretcher.
Seeing this happen, I'm going to run down the shore and be like, "Hey, can I join you on your boat?"
Is she wearing, are you wearing anything Golden Bear?
She got
Some
everything.
gold on you?
I got a little bit of
Yeah.
gold on me.
It's like mostly gold.
You're wearing
Hey,
gold.
fellow golden bear! I'm a golden bear. Can I join you on your boat?
Strange seeing another fellow Golden Bear this far south.
Exactly.
What brings you out here?
Udara Zaha. And then I look at him.
He's impressed.
I'm heading to a little bit of a remote area, and he points towards the rock and the rock island with the tower on it.
That's exactly where I'm going. Funny enough.
That is quite funny. Sure, hop aboard. As he steps on the boat, I just imagine the boat like
Barely supporting your weight.
Barely.
and I help you down into it.
The two of you sail over to the small rocky island where everybody else has already arrived.
Like a dog.
As you guys arrive on the island, you see it is basically the ruins of what used to be like a domed tower. It's only about 30 feet up to the peak of it, but light is shining through it. The walls are more than 50% gone at this point. There's just a few pillars holding what's left of this dome above you guys. And you see that there are like small crabs and kind of bugs crawling back under the rocks of this island that they would normally have exclusively to themselves. You can hear kind of the water as you guys all conglomerate now on this small island. Go ahead and chuck yourselves on there.
Are you naked?
Which
Tight whities, right?
from the shore, like which direction will we have?
From that way, from the north.
Can you put me next to Vera,
Yeah.
please?
So yeah, as I come out of the water, like I still have like a t-shirt and like boxers on, and as I see you come up to the shore, I run up to the boat and I'm like, thanks for holding my stuff.
He dropped it though.
Stuff?
Yeah, I saw you pick it up right as I jumped in.
I just assumed you wanted me to leave it there. You don't have your. You have your. He looks up to the group. Of course.
Huh?
Oh!
You hear some rocks kind of shift inside the domes.
Teo's gonna call out for what's his name? Atreus?
Archie's.
Artreus? Thank you. Yeah, Teo's gonna like take a step forward and he's gonna call it Artreus? Artreus, are you here?
As you start calling out Archeries, Jaden instantly looks at you. He says, the man in purple sent you here as well?
Yes, me and my friend here. We won the archery competition, no big deal. But yes, afterwards he came up to us and he wanted us to work for him and his employer. He didn't say who, but he said that he would help us in exchange for our help.
And I assume the same for you?
I looked to Vera. We don't want to say anything. We kind of stay back in the shadows and we don't really want to answer
What about
any
you?
of these people.
What about you and your naked friend here?
Friend's a very strong word, but he came up to us and also requested our assistance.
And how did you two meet?
He actually is my bodyguard.
Oh,
I'm
a little
definitely
young
not.
to have a bodyguard.
Yes, well,
aren't you?
that's exactly. I am
I just met him.
part of the Jade Council,
Really? Somebody of your youth?
high
He's
class.
a child.
Yes.
He is a child, is it? That's what I thought, but I didn't want to be rude.
We call it prodigy in this area.
Oh, prodigy.
Yes.
Mm.
And yes, this is my bodyguard.
Surprised they didn't choose you to be the paragon.
You know, I said maybe next year.
Council members aren't allowed to themselves become the paragon either.
Exactly.
I don't know much about politics.
For the record, I'm definitely not his bodyguard.
Right. My,
Okay,
My servant,
alright.
excuse me.
Oh.
That's a bit of
A
a...
bear.
so
Which
much worse.
you forgot my stuff on the short lad. But that's
bear is a
fine.
symbol.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
Could I? Oh, sorry. Could I sniff and see if I get that sweet, sweet smell that I remember?
You do. You don't even have to roll.
Okay.
You smell that sweet smell.
I tell Vera very quietly he's here. I'm sure she knows already because of the smell. So let's stay quiet. This is sketching me out.
Do you just say that to her, or is it loud enough for
I
us all
keep
to
it quiet to her, but if you guys want to roll to try to hear it, that's
Well,
fine.
yes, let's do what we have to do and get on.
Agreed.
Does anyone smell smoke?
I immediately.
Hey, purple cloak guy! We're here! We're here! I brought my bodyguard again!
What happened to your voice, kid?
We're here!
Wow. Quite a beautiful voice there.
Goodwin, don't you need to go fetch something?
You hear you guys hear a voice call back from inside the temple. You hear, "Come inside. My employer wishes to speak with you."
Taylor's gonna head right inside as soon as he says that.
I lean off to Eliana and I say, "Do you get bad vibes from this guy too?"
Massively bad vibes.
Oh, guys, he's nice, I bet.
You're a child.
I turn over and I go,
I
if
like
my
that.
word's anything, I think he seems alright.
He doesn't know anything.
Is anyone else walking with Teo?
Yeah, I'll begrudgingly follow him.
I'd like to hang back.
Yeah, we take up the tail end.
I like slowly start to decrease my speed as everyone's walking forward, and I happen to be behind Jake.
I want to push him a little more faster.
I do still have my slingshot.
Cool, like this?
Just so you know.
You have your
I
what?
kept the slingshot in the gloves.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
As you guys enter in, you do not see Artrice. You do not see Artrice anywhere in the room. The room is, by all accounts, very empty.
Is there any food or anything?
Nope, you don't see any food.
And we still are picking up the whiff? We still smell him?
You still smell the whiff.
So I'm going to openly say something's very wrong with the situation. I'm going to look to you as you are a big, brawny guy. And I'm going to be like, you might want to hold on to that axe.
Yeah, Jaden pulls it out and he says, "Artrice! Come out!"
And I grip my kunai. I'm ready to go too.
Wait, you guys are kidding, right?
No kidding, kid. Get ready.
He asked us to be here, though.
You ever heard of a trap?
This is a trap?
You hear a voice respond to you guys. It is not Artrice's voice. It is another. And it echoes through this decrepit temple. You hear the voice. Artrice's job is done.
Oh, whew! I was like, see, those are good! Oh my god, alright, so what's up? You're his employer then?
It was time I met the six of you face to face.
Can we see him?
You do
Or
not
just hear
see
voice?
anybody. You just
Chevron
hear
thick.
Well,
Back for his petty revenge.
maybe you see our face, but come on, step out. Let's truly meet you.
You see and feel a purple mist coming up from the floor. And it is thick and it coats the entire bottom of this temple. You see a figure start rising up from that mist.
Bit of dramatic entrance.
Translucent, but visible enough that you can see he's wearing black armor with purple trim on it. He has a long black and purple cloak and long black hair.
Ghost?
The child is
He says, "I'm very happy you decided to join me here on this island."
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
He says, "It's all right. Soon you won't have anything to worry."
Knock an arrow real quick.
You guys keep making me so worried.
Hey kid, get your slingshot ready.
Now listen, sir, nothing's happened yet. We can still work out a business arrangement originally agreed upon. You just show yourself, talk things out.
He says, "Oh no, something's already happened. The six of you have been incredibly disruptive to my efforts. Bumbling as you may be, you've proven to be a thorn in my side in just a single day."
He's just a bodyguard, so if you want to take him, that's fine. He's the one that did it, fire, everything else. All him.
So you're with... I kind of cut him off. So you're with the man with the fish tattoo, are you?
So scary.
I know, it sounded so much less badass.
He says, "The servants of my employ have done nothing but let me down today." He says, Those thugs failed to silence you, and thus by your silence, Vera, he says, Nez has continued to go behind my back, selling Leviathan blood, which is rightfully mine.
Oh, thank you for that.
He says not only that, he's managed to cause a spectacle that will bring unwanted attention. And he says, and you, Ileana, Teodoro, that bumbling fool, was supposed to win that competition today, hopefully to gain an audience with the Paragon. He says, I've taken care of that, though. He says, what can't be done by these foolish servants can surely be done by myself. You see another figure rise up in the mist. You guys recognize it as the Paragon. She has a bag over her head, a black burlap bag over her head. He says, no matter, your efforts will not prove enough to silence me or end my plans. He says, you are nothing but a temporary holdup.
Is he still semi-transparent?
He is.
Oh, God.
You see him reach under his armor. He pulls out something that you guys find strange, but Vera, you recognize. That Korak's heart.
Mm-hmm.
And he holds his hand over it. You see a faint purple glow as the heart opens up, and you see two parts of it pull to the side, and a needle comes out of the bottom. You see that the center, the translucent glass part, is actually a vial. He says, Vera, among all these pitiful wretches, you are the one that proved somewhat useful. It will be a shame to see you go. He walks over to the Paragon. He says, I do hope you know that there are no hard feelings. We simply find ourselves diametrically opposed, and the six of you already know far too much. He says, Artrice did a good job collecting the lot of you. He's the one that will be rewarded when this is all said and done. He goes up to the Paragon and puts his hand on the back of her head.
As he does that, I'm guessing he's holding the fucking heart.
Mm-hmm.
I know this isn't gonna work, but Jaden's gonna pick up his battle axe and go in a charge to try and slice at it.
When I see him do that, can I try to shoot an bow or an arrow at the what he's holding?
He's translucent. What are you guys doing?
but the I'm gonna go aim for the vial. The vial's not translucent.
It is.
Friendship attack!
Well,
you pull back your arrow, you shoot. Jayden, you run up with your battle axe, you scream and swing through them. Purple mist
fucking magic
dissipates through them before they reform, just as they were before.
Jayden's legs are Goodwin's legs are shaking. Just know if you do anything, 5,000 men will storm this castle and take you.
He says, come on now. Don't embarrass yourselves. Not when you are so close to the end. He pulls back his hood, and you recognize Nephayartes, the commander that you have long sought after. He pulls back the heart and jams it into the Paragon, presses it. You guys see green energy fill into the artifact.
Ooh, no.
Everybody roll intelligence for me.
Shit. Might as well not even roll. You asked that of us.
We got a group full of
stupid. So simple.
Wow, not that bad.
Hey, crit!
Nice.
Nat 20.
8. Oh.
2 6.
8.
Oh.
I was like,
Wait,
not
what?
again.
I was
10.
8.
A 10. Nice. Our
Good job, Smarties.
We all
our
rolled a
natural
7.
12 over here. You, more than anyone else, you recognize what's going on right now. You watch as this Paragon falls limp, as the entity passes from her into the artifact.
Do I know the Paragon's name?
You want to know her name?
You want to know her name? The Paragon, you want to know?
The Paragon, yeah.
It's her name you want to know?
I mean, the festival was about her, right? Surely they...
No, it's about the next Paragon, all right?
Oh, she was the previous Paragon.
She's the
Yes.
drunk
Okay,
one.
that I didn't understand.
She smashed her. It's all a bad dream.
Yeah.
Damn, how old is she?
She's not that old.
She's single?
You already...
Damn, they were ready to kill her and move on to the next
Yeah.
Paragon.
You would know, with a 20, you would know that for the Jade Eagles, they don't wait for like an honorable end. They don't wait until like a big passing of the torch. When they decide that you're unfit to be Paragon, you are forced into retirement.
No wonder she was drinking so much.
You know that her name is Zamara.
As I see him stab her in the chest, Jayden yells out, "Lord Zamora!"
You watch as she falls limp, and he drops her to the ground.
Teo's gonna turn to Nefertiti and go, "How could you betray our uncle, my uncle Bruno, like this? We've been searching all over for you, and now you're going to destabilize an entire empire?"
Nefertiti says, "I find it comical that you think I will stop with a single empire."
What happened?
He says, "I found a higher power." He says, "The true potential of Leviathan blood no one ever truly understood. But I do." And he says, "That is not the only blood with power." And he folds the artifact back in on itself, and it forms that heart again. And you see the green glowing ever brighter from it. He says, "Now I have everything I need to begin my conquest." He puts the artifact back in his cloak. He says, "I'm grateful you were here to watch this, Teodoro." He says, "I give to each of you a parting gift." He says, "If we meet in the next life, then you shall know I too have failed." And he blows, and you see that purple mist begin to swirl on the ground. Underneath your feet, you hear a clicking sound getting louder and louder. Some of you start to feel the little mosaic tiles under your feet shake and start to slip. You see the ground beneath you is starting to form the shape of a coiling snake. You see what looks like a massive eye open up on the ground as the snake's head slowly begins to lift off of the mosaic. You see the tiles forming a massive python that is swirling around the six of you in a circle. The python rears its head, and you see purple magic glowing in its eyes as it hisses at you, and you guys see this massive 200-foot-long python begin to coil around you. And that is where we're gonna end for today.
Oh my god!
I was gonna rumble,
ready.
Dude, he put Vespis in a Pokeball. Like,
Damn.
That is hilarious.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our first episode of Four Empires Champions. How are you guys all feeling?
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm ready to kill a snake.
Yeah.
Our amazing party is finally together as one, albeit not probably in the optimal conditions that you would have liked, but you have all done amazing today. But now you're going to have to face your greatest challenge yet. Next time on Four Empires Champions.